Ohio news and weather. We are tracking two tornado-warned storms across portions of southwestern Ohio, including a tornado-warned storm that is just southwest of Eaton, Ohio. This tornado warning is in effect until 8:15 p.m. for central Preble, southeastern Darke, and northwestern Montgomery County. It is a radar indicated rotation, so no confirmed tornado on the ground right now. And at the moment, this storm is near Camden, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Some of the paths in the storm include Englewood, Eaton, Lewisburg, West Alexandria, Clayton, Brookville, Phillipsburg, Verona, Gordon, Oklahoma, West Florence, Pyrmont, Sugar Valley, Lake Lackengren, and New Hope. Can't say I've heard of the lake, my bad. Just north of that, we also have a tornado warning in effect for about the next 15 minutes. This is for east central Wayne County. How about southern Darke County in Ohio? The other ones are in Indiana. This goes until 8 p.m. and looks like we may be getting an update on one of these as well. We are also looking at this storm down here. This is in northern Kentucky, folks. So this is Warsaw, Kentucky here, right on the border there with Indiana, kind of following a river. This storm here is gradually heading towards the Cincinnati metro, including, just south of there. So Cincinnati Airport, Florence, Burlington, Independence, Union, Erlanger, in that area. So if you know anybody in that area, you may want to give them a heads up to watch this particular storm. And if you're in the Cincinnati area, just keep an eye on it for right now. A lot can change as that continues moving to the north. Let's go ahead and let's click the right radar here. Here we go. Let's get that out. And we'll take a look at some of the velocities right now. I do have some of these wind streams turned on to kind of show you the way the air is moving across these storms. And right now, a lot of this rotation is, we'll turn that off. There we go. It's not really doing a whole ton right now, and that's kind of a good thing. But there was some signs of rotation when they issued these two warnings, something we'd been watching from time to time here, and not really sure why the ticker here. Oh, it is working. Okay, very good. Wanted to make sure it was absolutely working. Not a whole lot in the way of rotation at the moment. Again, that's a good thing that we're not seeing anything discrete, but basically here's where we're looking right here is this inflow into the storm here, and it's kind of about the same right here. This actually had a really decent radar rotation signature right around New Paris there. Probably about 5 minutes here before we started our stream. Did take a few minutes to get set up. Wasn't expecting this type of activity this quick, but there was this low threat for an isolated tornado or two today. I discussed that in my video yesterday, but this is just kind of how it works with this particular setup. Either does or it doesn't. We'll keep an eye on this area here because that is some pretty good inflow coming into the Eaton area, but nothing strong at the moment. That's the good news. If we turn on our rotation product here, we will probably not see anything too crazy. Now, I'm not seeing any sort of high-end, real bright colors like oranges, yellows, and eventually white would actually be the highest color there. But we'll continue to keep an eye on each of these as we go through the next about 20 minutes or so, a little bit longer than that. We'll stay with you for the tornado warning coverage. Once that drops, we'll probably drop coverage, but we'll make sure that this storm down here in Kentucky, we'll see what it decides to do too. I want to take a look at this storm here and see real quick. Yeah, not a whole lot of rotation. It's pretty broad. For a short time, this was showing some decent rotation, but just to the southwest of Warsaw right here, that's that area we're watching right now. But again, it's nothing that confirmed on the ground with any of these storms at this time. So that's good news right there. Outside of that right now, across southwestern Ohio, we do have a cluster of thunderstorms moving through. They are kind of strong, but outside the tornado warnings, actually, we don't have any severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. So we have this kind of bowing segment right in here. It's somewhat broken. It's not super duper organized by any means. Super duper is a technical meteorological term, meaning it's not that great. Okay, I'm kidding. But this cluster of storms does contain a lot of heavy rainfall. So these green boxes back here, this is all flash flood warnings. And we do have some flash flood warnings for parts of southwestern Ohio. I'll talk about those in just a minute. But this is producing some very heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning, some gusty winds, 40 to perhaps 50 miles an hour, below severe levels, but still can do some minor damage. So these are continuing to pretty much move off to the north and east with a low pressure system and a warm front that's all kind of packaging and moving gradually to the northeast, and it will be with us for the day tomorrow as well, bringing showers and storms across Ohio. But the severe weather threat is a little bit less. It's more into the eastern portion of the state that did get extended up into northern Ohio. It's more of a wind damage threat at that point. If we have some time towards the end, I'll pull that up. We'll talk a little bit about that too. All right, do want to real quick just talk about the flash flood warning that was issued not too long ago. It's for northwestern Butler, southwestern Darke, and western Preble County. This goes till 10:30 p.m. Radar indicated that between 1.5 inches and 2.5 inches of rain already fallen, up to an additional 1/2 inch to 1 inch is possible. Could see some flash flooding, some creeks, streams, along highways, low-lying streets, things like that. So remember, turn around, don't drown, never drive through a flooded roadway. But that's just kind of what we're looking at. So we'll probably see a few additional flash flood warnings get issued with all of this rain moving through. Storm Prediction Center is watching the area. Actually, they issued a mesoscale discussion here just about 6 minutes ago. Don't expect any sort of severe weather watch of any kind is pretty much what they're saying. Just a brief tornado or two, some locally damaging wind. Other than that, they are really not looking at any sort of big organized severe weather looking to develop. They're thinking that this is going to last maybe about 2 hours, and then eventually this is going to pretty much diminish as we get into the later evening hours after sunset, things like that. Radar is kind of pegging now this area of rotation right over New Hope. Let's take a look at that. I know these boxes don't quite align with each other, but if you're right in between these two tornado warning boxes, it's possible on your phone you didn't get the wireless emergency alert, but if you're in there, consider yourself in that warning just in case. Just because it's a very, very small area that's pretty much in between those boxes that just isn't warned. And right now, yeah, it's trying to get something going here, but I'm not seeing anything too crazy at the moment. If I click this, I believe we get a little bit of stats. Yeah, it's thinking it's about 50% confident in that. So we'll keep an eye on it. All of these are going to be rain wrapped, by the way, so you're not going to be able to see the tornado coming. So I definitely do want to note that if you are in a tornado warning, you should take shelter, especially if you're around New Hope, up towards Brennersville, Lewisburg, Eaton, perhaps. Yeah, could be the potential there. And then up further north, probably more towards El Dorado, New Madison. That area right now should take shelter. And remember, you want to get in the lowest level of your home. A basement is preferred if you don't have a basement. The most interior room you have in your home. So the interior hallway, closet, or bathroom is ideal. If you're in a mobile home, it's a bit late to get out. So I would just really, really, really get towards the middle of it as best as I could. Now's not the time to get out at the moment, so let's not do that. We did get an update on this one tornado warning here. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. That's going to be your box flashing on the screen, and it looks like this is just really going to be a standard update. Yeah, it's a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado over Eaton, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. And again, that's in portions of northeastern Preble, southeastern Darke, and northwestern Montgomery counties. No indication of any sort of wall cloud, funnel cloud, or a tornado right now, which is really good. But again, if you are in the path of the storm, now's the time to take shelter towards Lewisburg, Brennersville. We got here Verona, West Sonora, Bachman, Arlington, and Brookville as well. Would be a real good time to take shelter. We'll probably get an update on this northern watch here in just a moment too. So if you do see it start flashing, that's what that's going to be. It does expire in about 5 minutes. So they may just say they're going to let it expire if it does get an update. I'm not seeing any rotation in that part of the storm, and that's really, really good. But yeah, definitely down here, right along US 35 between New Hope and Eaton. See how we got these reds and this little bit of orange on our rotation product right here? That's where this is starting to flag, is it's looking at this, and they're not always co-located, and that's fine. This is just an indicator, is all it is. It's just bringing attention to an area where there may be rotation increasing, and did a pretty good job. There it is. And again, that's moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. So if you're near 127 and Interstate 70 there, that is heading that direction right up and through here. We'll try to get a tracker on it here. Bear with me just a moment. Let's do a quick storm track here. Yep, that'll work. All right, so here's what we're looking at, folks. Right now we're looking at Lewisburg at about 8:13, and I know you can't quite see this on your screen, my apologies. Let me see if I can pop this out. There we go. You should be able to see that now. We're looking at Lewisburg. Let's put it over here. Lewisburg at 8:13, West Sonora at 8:16, Wengerlawn 8:21, Bachman 8:21, Verona 8:22, Gordon at 8:22, Arlington at 8:25, and Midway at 8:28 right now. So that's what we're looking at timing-wise on this particular tornado-warned storm. Again, no confirmation of anything on the ground at the moment, but that is something we'll continue to monitor here as we continue to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And then let's look at some velocity stuff here. Yeah, definitely going to be interesting here. This could be a little bit more... This could be a little bit more rear flank downdraft driven, where we get something that happens pretty quick. So basically, you see all these wind streams, right? This is the back of the storm coming in. Everything's kind of getting sucked back in. So we call this a rear flank downdraft. It could briefly spin something up, and then it would go away. It wouldn't last very long because it kind of knock itself out, if you will. But we'll continue to watch that there because that has got some pretty decent motion on it. And we can see here on our rotation product, now we're into the yellows there, so our rotation is definitely increasing in the lower levels, and yeah, that would be why. So on this particular velocity product, note the green here, right here, and then we have our reds. They're not together yet, but they're certainly trying to get their act together. Looks like we're getting some other tornado warning issued here in for just a second here too. Let's zoom back out and take a look here. Yep, that's going to be down here. So this is Kentucky, folks. This is tornado warning. Again, it's radar indicated. If you know anybody in portions of Boone County, Kenton, Grant County, Gallatin, or Central Switzerland County in Indiana, there is a tornado warning in effect there. And it looks like we may have something else up here for us. Yep, here we go. So they're going to basically replace, or this is kind of interesting. They're going to issue a new tornado warning. I don't know why they did it this way, but okay. So we have a new tornado warning now for northwestern Preble and southern Darke County. This goes till 8:30 p.m. and this was a storm we were just talking about a moment ago. It's a radar indicated rotation near Eaton, moving north now at 25 miles an hour. So here's who's in the path: Greenville, Eaton, Arcanum, New Madison, Wayne Lakes, El Dorado, West Manchester, Pittsburgh, Hollinsburg, Gordon, Palestine, Ithaca, Castine, Union Corners, Oklahoma, Sharp Eye, Abbotsville, and New Hope, and that also includes Interstate 70 at US Route 127. So if you're anywhere in there, again, you're going to want to take shelter, and I would on this storm. This is starting to come together pretty well, so definitely here again, take shelter. Lowest level of your home, a basement. If you don't have a basement, the most interior room in your home, a closet, a hallway, a bathroom. Just put as many walls between you and the outside of the home as you can. If you are in a mobile home, you're really not going to have a whole lot of time to get out. But if you have someone very close and you got a few minutes, then absolutely go ahead and go to that safe spot. If not, get in the interiormost portion of your mobile home. Don't try to go outside and outrun it or anything like that. Someone in the comment there on Facebook did mention that this was going towards Arcanum, and I believe Arcanum was one of the towns I mentioned here. Yes, it is headed towards Arcanum, and let's see here. We are near Eaton. Right here, this is at the edge of that. Actually, Eaton, you're going to be okay. I'm going to call all clear for you. You're barely in this warning, and it's just to the northwest of town there. But Arcanum is in this warning. I'm sorry, I can't get it to come up on the map right now, but it was one of the towns mentioned there in the warning. There's Arcanum up here. My bad. It's a little bit going on. I got all these lines I'm looking at. It gets to be a lot. So yeah, I would take shelter if you're in Arcanum. That is heading that way. If you're further north, a lot of this is not going to make it north. I'm not worried about tornadic activity anywhere across any northern portion of Ohio or any eastern portion of Ohio. This is pretty much just southwestern Ohio. And this is only going to last for about probably about an hour, maybe two, and that's it. Yep, you're getting sirens, Greensville. You got a tornado warning. Yep. Is it headed towards Salina? It's got a while. Everything's heading that way, but will it be severe? It's really hard to say. So let's take a look here at a couple other products here. Yeah, our normalized, our rotation product here is certainly pegging some pretty decent rotation. Let me get this flipped back over. My apologies, guys. Here we go. And actually, it just updated here. Here's our rotation. It weakened, which is a good sign. That weakened a little bit. So it could be diminishing some. And our one product here, it's at about 70% on a area of rotation for what confidence level it thinks. Yeah, there may have been a brief spin up here. Again, looking at some of our velocity here, we kind of get this area where it's bright green. This is everything kind of coming in, so everything's kind of spinning right here, more towards the back side of this rain, which really makes it kind of different than what we're used to seeing. So they updated the tornado warning here for portions of northeastern Preble County till 8:15, and really it's just going in line with this other warning that we've just been talking about. So they're going to hang on to it, and we got kind of double overlap there in warnings. Again, if you're in Eaton, you probably just got an update pushed to your phone, either through our app or through your wireless carrier. And Eaton, I'm going to call all clear for you. This is north of you. Yeah, you're getting some heavy rain right now, maybe some gusty winds, but the area of concern, the area of rotation is actually to your north. It's more up towards Route 11 between 35 and 127. So really right in here, headed towards State Route 726 and County Road 9. So you guys are going to be okay there in Eaton, even though you get some heavy rain and some gusty winds. The tornadic stuff is not, at this point in time, not going to impact the town of Eaton, which is very good. Let's go ahead and do a quick little storm track here. And we're just going to kind of draw it this way. Yep, that'll work. Okay, here's what we got. I'm going to pop this out for you guys. So right now we're looking at El Dorado, this area impacting your area at about 8:18, Castine at 8:23, Arcanum at 8:32, Fort Jefferson at 8:35, and Greenville at 8:45. Now from Arcanum on, I just read this, so Arcanum, Fort Jefferson, and Greenville. The problem with this is which way is it going to head? Remember, it was tracking northeast. Now they got it tracking north. So if this is spinning a little bit, this could really miss Arcanum, and it could actually start paralleling US 127 a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on that. So if you're a little west of here, that could shift west a little bit. And now all of a sudden places like El Dorado, which is on here, New Madison and Palestine could potentially get affected. And it would give Greenville a little bit more of a potential to get affected too. No confirmed tornado right now, folks, but just kind of keep that in mind as time progresses here, that we could see this turn a little bit more north to even northwesterly as everything kind of rotates through the area. So just something to kind of keep our eye on right now. Yeah, good news is the rotation is diminished a little bit, and that's really, really good news. Another area of spin right here. I don't know how accurate this is. It's pretty low confidence, but we'll take a look. Yeah, I don't particularly see anything there. It's not they're not perfect products. You know, it's doing a lot of math, and not exactly perfect. See, it dropped our one down here around New Hope. I do want to go south just a little bit. I do want to look here. Boy, that's awfully interesting with that drop in reflectivity. But I don't think that's going to be anything. No, I'm not too concerned about that. This is a storm in Kentucky that's moving towards the Union and Florence area. It's just south of the Cincinnati airport, so not on the Union and parts of Florence, but Oak Brook, Hopeful Heights, Limaburg, parts of Burlington there. Also in that particular warning, that's very north corner there. But just kind of watching it, it's kind of a broad area of rotation right now. It's pretty much just paralleling 71 where south of where it splits off 75. But we'll continue to keep an eye on that. That could start heading a little bit more to the north too, and if it does get its act together, that could be interesting for parts of the Cincinnati area. But we'll continue to keep an eye on it. Right now, I'm not too worried about it, but we'll definitely keep an eye on it. Outside of tornado warnings, again, no severe weather warnings in effect. No severe thunderstorm watch, no severe thunderstorm warnings. Pretty much everything here between, well, on the west side of Dayton, all the way down towards Hamilton and Fairfield. These are non-severe storms. A lot of heavy rain falling right now. Some gusty winds, a lot of lightning, but no severe storms in that area. This is all non-severe at the moment. So that's all really good. That's going to start moving into Dayton here shortly. Again, non-severe. We're just watching this stuff here pretty much along US 127 at the moment. Is really our only area of concern, if you will. This particular storm here north of Eaton and just east of New Hope, a little south of the 70 and US 127 interchange there, it is trying to cycle back around, I think. So we kind of got this area here, and we'll see, but we kind of got this area here where we're getting a little bit more of that green kind of trying to work in. It kind of just disappeared in that latest update there, but we'll continue to keep an eye on that. That could try to cycle back around and potentially get its act together. The environment overall, while okay, isn't the most favorable for tornadic weather. We have just enough in place here that will get spin, but we don't have a whole lot in place for these storms to be super strong. So it's going to be difficult really for any sort of tornadic activity to really get its act together here, just because there's just not a whole heck of a lot to work with here in terms of dynamics. I'm going to click over to the Dayton radar here just real quick and just take a look, and yeah, I see you're getting a little bit of something here, but again, it's not my most favorite. But it's interesting. That's an interesting look. And when I say that, I don't mean like it looks tornadic. It's just an interesting look with how that is painting on the radar. I'm not particularly fond of that, but okay. So now while we were gone here, if you look just north of 35 and east of New Hope, get some bright greens down here. We're going to see if this kind of catches up to that line, because if it does, that could create a brief spin, and just like that, it's gone. Okay, so never mind on everything I just said there. That's how quickly stuff can change sometimes. What I'm seeing right now is I'm not seeing rotation really at the moment. A little bit of stuff kind of working in, kind of fizzled out. And yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Our normalized rotation product, which shows rotation, isn't painting at anything bright colored, which is good. By bright, I'm talking like orange, yellows, and light greens and whites. These other colors, these are pretty normal for the most part. So that's good news. That's really good news. And then down here in Kentucky, I do want to just take a quick little peek. And yeah, I am not seeing much in the way of rotation here either. Also very good. So hopefully, with some luck, we can get some of these warnings expired here pretty soon, or even canceled perhaps, and we can just worry about the heavy rain at that point. I don't know, Daniela, where you're at and why your local stations aren't live, but glad that we could get you some coverage. Let's see. I'm just kind of going through the chat. I'm the only one here, so yeah, Greenville, this particular tornado warning storm is pretty well to your south. Greenville to northern edge of that warning. Right now, that particular storm that you're seeing at this moment is like the northern edge of it, if you will. And yeah, unless we get something cycling back around, I'm not seeing too much at the moment. I don't know why sirens are going off in Middletown, Ohio, but okay. Let's see here, what else? Everyone's just throwing town names in. Guys, I don't know how many times, I know you guys have been here. You're going to throw your town name or your county, and I'm not going to answer you. We can't just keep doing that. Like, it's not your own personal stream. We stream for the entire state of Ohio and everybody that watches. So you're just going to have to listen for the coverage. And if we're not mentioning your towns or not ignoring you, it means there's no threat for your area. So this works just like TV, right? Difference is you can't ask your meteorologist. Apparently, we're the only live coverage. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's good to hear, I guess. So again, we're looking in Western Ohio, folks. It's pretty much, we're into West Central Ohio almost. So right along US 127 is kind of where our focus is, from I-70 and north right now. So this is pretty far Western Ohio. We're almost to Indiana. Again, if we're not mentioning your area, it's not because we're ignoring you. It's because there's nothing going on there right now. A lot of the storms between Dayton and coming into Cincinnati right now, and I'll see if I can just circle that here for you. All of these at the moment are non-severe. A lot of heavy rain, some gusty winds, a lot of lightning, probably loud, non-severe. They don't issue severe thunderstorm warnings based on how loud the thunder is. So thank goodness. Otherwise, it'd be nonstop. But these are non-severe. I'm not expecting these to turn severe. Could they turn severe? It's possible, but it's a really low chance. Again, we just don't have a whole lot to work with. And as we continue over about the next 45 minutes to an hour or so, once we get past sunset, it's going to not really have much to work with. So again, not seeing too much here at the moment. They are updating this particular tornado warning. It looks like they're going to allow it to expire at 8:15, as they should, because everything's moving out of the area. But just popped up here, and I just said, hey, I'm not expecting these storms to become severe right over Middletown, guys. It looks like we're pinging a little bit of rotation. Not high confidence on the radar right now. It's right over El Dorado. So Upper Arlington, El Dorado, Miami University, Middletown, not the main campus in Oxford, just to the southeast of the Middletown airport there. So this is going to be a little south of Dayton. It's trying to maybe get something going here. Yeah, okay. This could be an anomaly right here. I'm not particularly seeing anything to suggest. I mean, it's kind of there, but this is, again, kind of the back end of rain. So we're looking at rotation right in here. And again, it didn't have high confidence, had about 45% right now, but we'll continue to keep an eye on it. That could wrap in pretty quick and then dissipate just about as quick. So we may actually even miss something if it happens, but that is pretty much heading to the north. Let's go ahead and draw a storm track on it from right here. And we're going to just kind of peg it right about there. So at the moment, this is non-severe, but it says Miamisburg. In Miamisburg in 834, Dayton 853, and Trotwood at 853. There's other towns in here, guys. It's okay. Germantown, Carlisle, there we go. If we zoom in a little bit, we'll get a few more. So if you're in any of these towns on the screen over here, for this particular cell down near Middletown, if you're on any of those towns, I would just keep an eye on this particular cell. It's possible that it could try to produce. It just did pick up the rotation intensity there a little bit right over Middletown, actually. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. Right over town there. Right, yeah, just south of the airport, right over town. Again, I'm not seeing... See, these real bright colors, I think they're a bit of an anomaly because that would be indicative of really strong rotation. And yeah, we don't have anything like that. Likely what that is it could be a gust of wind. Sometimes it'll do that when we get certain conditions. But I don't see anything updated here at the moment. It's probably going to be another minute or so on that. That's rain wrapped. But what's interesting here too, kind of point this out, is we have this area. There it is. There's the tornado warning right there. There's our inflow right here, that green area. So I was wrong. This is going to get into almost, well, not quite the Dayton. Okay, good. All right, so here we go. We have a tornado warning now for northeastern Butler and southwestern Montgomery County until 8:45 p.m. Again, this is a radar indicator rotation. It's over Middletown, moving north at 20 miles an hour. And Middletown, Miamisburg, Carlisle, Germantown, Poasttown Heights, all in the path of this storm. And we'll go ahead, we'll throw another storm track on it. We'll go right over Middletown all the way up to here. And we're going to go ahead and we'll just make that 20. Okay, here we go, guys. So I'm going to take this off. We're going to zoom in a little bit. We get a bigger list. Well, so much for the bigger list. Okay, so here's what we got. Pretty much right over the Middletown Regional Airport there in about 3 minutes. Poasttown at 8:23. Poasttown Heights 8:30. Mudlick 8:37. And Germantown at 8:39. Again, so if you're in the path of this storm, now's the time to take shelter. And it does look like we're getting a little bit more in the way of confidence in rotation on that one. So again, you want to take shelter, lowest level of your home. If you don't have a basement, you want to get to the first floor, most interior room, into your hallway, closet, or bathroom. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you're in a mobile home and near this, now's not the time to get out. Just hunker down in the middle the best you can. If you're further north towards Germantown, you got a safe space nearby, and you're in a mobile home, you can get out. To go ahead. But otherwise, yeah, I would not do that at all. I would just stay in place if you can. Just going through comments real fast here, guys. I cannot change the city size on the map. Sorry, it's fixed. I can't do anything about it right now. Okay, yeah, there's lightning. That's called a thunderstorm. Yep, you're seeing lightning. Yeah, Greenville, that heavier rain is coming towards you. We'll go back to that storm in just a moment. But I want to say they updated this one just a moment ago too. They did not, so there was another warning issued elsewhere. But Greenville, it is getting a little bit heavier up there in terms of rain and probably some lightning and thunder. But the good news is I'm not seeing any rotation with that storm right now. Now, with that said, there is a part of the storm here just on the state line, just west of Glencairn and Hollinsburg, that is flagging some rotation. And it's got good confidence on it. It's possible we could see a warning issued on this. Check this out here. It's a pretty broad area. Kind of got this big hook thing going on here. This is broad, and so it's not showing a lot of rotation right now on our velocity product, but the reflectivity product can give us clues as to how that storm is rotating. So this right here could certainly develop something in just a moment. If it does, that's going to put Hollinsburg, Palestine, Coletown, and perhaps Greenville in the path of something. We're going to keep an eye on that. That rotation track dropped, and it may end up being absolutely nothing and just the shape of the storm. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. I did want to look down here. This was the tornado warning there in Kentucky. Goes till 8:30. It's over Walton, moving northeast at 30, but nothing right now. Good news. Nothing right now in the path of showing, I should say, nothing indicating a tornado or an imminent, tornado like a wall cloud or a funnel cloud. Rotation is not a lot there, so that's good news. We'll continue to keep an eye on it. That could cycle a little bit. We'll continue to keep an eye on that because that is kind of moving towards the Cincinnati area at this point. If it has to turn to the left a little bit and get more to the northerly tract to get really towards Cincinnati itself, otherwise it's going to end up being on the east side. But we got a while to go there before it actually gets to Ohio. Back to this storm, just north of Middletown, moving over Poasttown right now. Yeah, again, not too. I'm not too sold on this right here. Just east of the Middletown Regional Airport. This, I don't know why it's particularly showing this. That would indicate really strong rotation, and I'm not particularly seeing anything there like that. So here's my other concern. I don't know why the Weather Service left out this part here, Carlisle to Franklin. I don't know why they followed the county line here. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you're in Carlisle or Franklin, I would consider taking shelter. I think that could impact that part of the area. The weird things about storms is they're not very good at following lines that we draw on a map. So this is going to end up, it's moving northeasterly at the moment, and it's going to end up leaving the warning box and re-entering it. It'll probably stay east of Germantown to Poasttown Heights, so it'll probably stay east of State Route 4 at the moment. This could turn north, but even if it does turn north, it's still going to leave that warning box a little bit. So again, Carlisle to Franklin and west right now. So if you're between State Route 73 and State Route 4, and you're in the Carlisle to Franklin area, Rickard Acres, there's some town names. I know there's not a ton over here, but if you're in that area, I would definitely take shelter just to be safe, because I think it's going to leave. I wouldn't be surprised if they issue a little mini warning box in here, but it's almost a little too late at this point in time to do that. Again, watching up here, our warning to the north. Again, I don't see a whole lot of things coming together. Our little tag here is back, indicating some rotation, but it's got pretty low confidence, below 50%. Yeah, this particular cell here, this became our strongest cell right now. We have really good inflow right here. This green and these yellows, everything's kind of wrapping in right there, right where that icon is pretty much, is where everything is wrapping in. We have inflow here, everything's wrapping around this way. That right there it's a pretty good signature. So again, if you're in here, yeah, I know you're not in a warning. You didn't get a push alert on your phone from our app or your cell phone provider because, again, you're not in a warning. But I would take shelter anyways at this point. I don't know why they didn't draw it that way. I wish I could explain that thought process. I have no idea. But I really feel like Carlisle and parts of Franklin should be in that particular warning, and I don't know why it's not in that particular warning at all. That one doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I'm not the one that gets to draw the map either. So yeah, that's kind of how it is. That's Warren County. Okay, yeah, that northwestern tip of Warren County. I was drawing a blank on a county name for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I don't know why they left that out. That one to me just did not make a whole lot of sense. There is some decent rotation there for sure. Okay. Right. this real quick. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why. Very interesting. Okay. I'm looking at something else you guys can't see. Just kind of perusing something here real quick. It helps to have another program up. Just looking at the radar too. This shows one thing, which is very nice and pretty, but at the same time, yeah. So hey, check this out, guys. Check out what our storm's doing. Look at here. Look at the spiral. I see the wind circling around that. This whole thing is rotating. The whole thing is rotating. That's pretty neat. That's a new feature, by the way, for us. So yeah, this whole cell is rotating. So this is a dangerous storm here west of Carlisle, entering far northwestern Warren County, heading towards Miamisburg, Montgomery County, south of Germantown. This whole particular storm is quite dangerous. There's the new warning. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. Now we have a tornado warning in effect for northwestern Warren County, thank goodness, and southeastern Montgomery County till 9 p.m. It's a radar indicated rotation over Carlisle. We were just talking about it, moving north at 20 miles an hour. So this is going to impact the south side of Dayton, Kettering, Trotwood, Miamisburg, Springboro, Franklin, Moraine, Carlisle, of course, West Carrollton, Germantown, Centerville, Drexel, and Woodburn, Hyde Park. So again, if you're in the path of the storm, now's the time to take shelter. That storm is rotating quite well, especially just west of Carlisle there, and just south of 123. We're getting another warning too, and that's going to be down here in Kentucky. We'll cover that in a moment. Again, this is south side of Dayton. I'm not sure if Dayton has tornado sirens. I believe they do, but probably all of them are going off. But this is going to just be the south side of Dayton. So our warning line here runs pretty much between New Chicago, Berkeley Heights, South Dale, Moraine area. It's south of 35, which goes kind of through Dayton. It's south of that on the southwest side. So we're probably just hitting some parts of Dayton. But again, if you're in Dayton, this is kind of heading your way. So I would definitely keep an eye on it, and I'd be ready to take shelter. We'll go ahead. We'll kind of just plot that here, and I'll put in 20. And here's what we got for some of our warnings right now. So we have Miamisburg at 8:44. We have Ellerton 8:48. West Carrollton at 8:52. Moraine at 9. New Chicago 9:02 currently is what we are looking at there. I'm going to put that right over that. We got a little better view. So that's what we're looking at. Now there are a couple other little small areas in here, and there's a lot of rural land too. So again, that is heading towards the Dayton area, especially west side, Cornell Heights, Fort McKinley, Regina Heights, Trotwood along 49. So it's kind of heading that way, if you will. I know we got a more of a northeasterly track, but this will probably take a bit of a left turn and go a little bit more northerly eventually here. But that's where we're at right now with that. Let's go back to our rotation products, guys, real quick here. And yeah, we got some good rotation. So now I'm a bit more of a believer here in this. I think it's still pretty strong. But right here, Carlisle to Franklin. Remember we were talking about that before I even issued the warning. You're welcome. That right there, that's some pretty good rotation I think we got going on there. And our particular rotation product is flagging about 80% right now. So we did get another tornado warning too. I do want to get to that in just a second. We may have a secondary area here of rotation north of Germantown, west of Miamisburg, southwest of Ellerton, and we'll keep an eye on it. But that's this bright spot right here. And this is along State Route 4, actually, between Germantown and Ellerton. And that's pretty much going to follow State Route 4. So we're going to keep an eye on that. If you're in that area, take shelter. Again, lowest level of your home. If you don't have a basement, you want an interior hallway, closet, or bathroom. Put as many walls between you and the outside of your home as possible. I did get a report there may be a possible tornado on the ground, but I'm not sure where. I'll try to verify that as we're on here. And we do have a new tornado warning now up here. Just this little bitty warning in southwestern Darke County till 9 p.m. It's for a radar indicated tornado near New Madison, moving north at 25 miles an hour. Again, radar indicated. Hollinsburg, Palestine, Sharps Crossing, and Sharp Eye in the path of that storm right now. And we were looking at that not too long ago, and we can see that it's still trying to come together. We did get an update on our larger warning here. Let's look at that. I think they're going to allow it to expire at 8:30. Yes, right now. So if you're in Greenville, I know I got some folks from Greenville. That warning is expiring right now. Arcanum, same deal. However, I do want to watch here Ithaca to Gordon. We are getting a little bit of a flag of rotation there, and we'll continue to keep an eye on it, but it doesn't look to be anything super concerning right now. Odds on it are below 50%. But this big warning you see flash on your screen from Eaton to Greenville, Arcanum, that warning is expiring right now. It'll disappear off the screen here in just a moment. And that'll just leave us with the tornado warning in that area for southwestern Darke County until 9 p.m. And then again, we have our warnings down here. If you're in Middletown, Post-Town right now, you guys are in the clear. I'll call it for you. You guys are in the clear on that. That's a warning out in Indiana. We're not going to worry about that one. But just in case you got anybody in southeastern Randolph County watching, you're under tornado warning now until 9:15 p.m. Radar indicated rotation there, and it's going to be over some pretty rural areas there. But Crete, Spartansburg, Bartonia, South Salem, stuff along State Route 227, north of roughly about 36, US 36 and north in that particular tornado warning. And that just kind of goes with the other part on the screen here. Thinking they're just kind of warning that more of a just in case thing. This thing decides to continue to turn left a little bit, but there is some pretty good rotation just on the reflectivity alone right there. But we're not getting anything on velocity or anything like that. So something to definitely keep an eye on. I do want to get back down here towards Miamisburg because we are again in a more populated area. This area I said we should probably watch. We're getting some better indications of spin here, it looks like. We may have two areas we're watching. Yeah, we do, guys. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be a rough one tonight. If you're anywhere southwest of Dayton right now, Carlisle, Ellerton, Miamisburg, take shelter, please. We have this area spin. This is State Route 4 right here. And this area is pretty much going to parallel one side of the road or the other. Right now it's on the west side of the road. And then down here north of Carlisle and just west of Chautauqua, that's another area we're watching that could have some decent spin as well. And possible one of these may have actually produced. I'm still waiting on a little bit of verification. I actually got to check that in just a moment too. Yeah, if you're in that area, this right here is definitely looking suspicious. This might be trying to cycle back around a little bit. We'll see. Yeah, we got two areas of potential rotation. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, yeah. So near Ellerton, headed towards Liberty and 6 Mile. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw this storm track up here. So let's do a storm track right here. And we're going to call that about 20. All right, so yeah, Liberty in about 846, and then 6 Mile 852 right now on that. Not a whole lot out there. West side of Ellerton could get on that. If you're near the Montgomery County Fairgrounds, 851 over in that area. Drexel at 854. And then we're going to go down here to the Carlisle area. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to draw another one here. Let's do this, storm track. Okay, let's go right about here. Perfect. So now, here's what we have. So it's coming out of Carlisle, Chautauqua right now. So we got Miamisburg at 850. Sycamore Medical Center area at 852, Whitfield 858, West Carrollton 859, and then Dywar at 904. And again, that gets into Whitfield and perhaps Frytown as well. We'll just kind of have to see how things go. You can see we got a couple others here on screen too. I'm gonna try to get it over here for you guys. There you go. Kettering Medical Center, that area about 909. So it's all kind of headed towards that area. So we want to continue to kind of keep an eye on that, especially this area as we go, because again, we're kind of heading to a more populated area, and that definitely is never a great thing. We really don't like to see that. I want to pop down here to Kentucky real quick and look at the Walton Independence area. They did reissue a tornado warning for southern Kent and southern Boone County till 9 p.m. And the only reason I'm keeping an eye on this is because this is up heading towards the Cincinnati Metro, probably the East Metro side, Norwood, around Lunken, Newtown, Fairfax, that way. Something to kind of keep an eye on. Good news here is we don't have a whole heck of a lot of rotation, but it's showing a little bit better here on reflectivity, where we have kind of like we saw up north there, where we have this area of green, this kind of a precip free zone almost wrapping into this heavier cell. Magic, there it is. Gotta love it when that happens. That's just a quirk with the program. But so that's kind of broad rotation right now. And so while it doesn't show up a whole lot on velocity, sometimes again the reflectivity gives us some indications of things. And yeah, so sometimes it's better safe than sorry. So we're going to continue to just kind of monitor that as we go. Same up here further north towards Palestine. Don't see a whole lot of rotation up here. That's good, but we're also getting some data dropout issues up here. And that's probably because we're shooting through the storm over Miamisburg right now in the Dayton area, and it's got a lot of precip for that radar beam to work through before we get up to that storm in Arcanum. So we kind of lose quite a bit of data if things look not so strong up there, and that's kind of why. It's because we're losing that. Unfortunately, if you went to the radar out in Indianapolis or even up towards northern Indiana, that's probably not going to look all that much better, because again, it's really far away. So if I did this, we're looking way high up in the atmosphere, and yeah, again, the data is just dropping out. So unfortunately, not a whole lot we can do there. Looks like we got a potential tornado report around Franklin. We do. We have a report of a possible tornado over Franklin about 10 minutes ago, 8:29. Unconfirmed, but that is from a storm spotter. So I'll definitely take that one into consideration for sure. And right now, if you're in Miamisburg, if you're not taking shelter right now in Miamisburg, you really need to. Also towards Liberty and yeah, especially Miamisburg along 75. For sure, that's where everything's kind of at. All Miamisburg really should be taking shelter. Again, this is your shelter criteria, right? Basement if you have it. If you don't have a basement, lowest level of your home, most interior room, a hallway, a bathroom, a closet, something like that. Just put as many walls as between you and the outside as possible. If you're in a mobile home, it's too late to get out. You're going to want to hunker down in the middle of that mobile home. If you're further north, and you got something close you can get to in a mobile home, it's not going to take you long. A couple minutes, you can certainly give it a shot. But yeah, looks like the Walmart in Franklin there at the back of the store. That comment from a YouTube watcher. Guys, I hope you stay safe. Just kind of, again, perusing through the comments. Yeah, did have that tornado possible down there, Franklin there. We just talked about that. Again, Miamisburg, we've talked about Miamisburg. Looks like we're going to get an update on that tornado warning there. Okay, let's see here. What do we got? This is for the one that's further west. Looks like they're going to probably allow that to expire. They are at 8:45. Again, Middletown, you're in the clear. But this warning from Middletown to Mudlick, Poasttown Heights, Poasttown, that warning is going to expire. That's going to include parts on Miamisburg and Germantown as well. But you are still in a tornado warning with this newer one they issued. It kind of overlaps that part. So that's where we're at here. Up towards Liberty, that rotation is weakening, which is a good sign. But I still definitely see a good bit of rotation with with this particular cell right coming into the south side of Miamisburg right now. It's not crazy, but it's there. I still think these values are a touch high, but at this point, I wouldn't discredit it at the moment. This is headed towards the Dayton area, folks. If you're in Dayton, you need to be paying attention. If you're in Oakwood, you need to be paying attention. Trotwood, same deal. If you're any of these areas, pretty much, well, I don't want the storm track here. Let's drop the storm track and let's do draw. If you're pretty much in this area right now, I would really be paying attention to what's kind of going on at the moment with this cell off to our south. And you know what would really help? If I put it on the screen for you. Here we go. So if you're in that circled area, my bad. This is what I'd be watching right here. I'd really be watching that. Again, this is our cell down here. This area, it's all headed towards that area. Unfortunately, so I'd keep an eye on it. You know, not any warning or anything right now. It's just something I'd really keep an eye on, because if they issue a warning, it'll be pretty soon and you'll have some lead time, but I'm trying to get you as much as possible. You don't always need to wait for a warning sometimes to be ready. Especially with this particular cell. I mean, this whole cell was rotating not that long ago. I know we don't particularly see it here on our streamlines at the moment. That may update a little bit. Again, it's a newer feature, so I think it's still getting tweaked and everything too. But yeah, that I would certainly keep a very close eye on that area. All right. Looks like someone reported a funnel cloud near Marion a few minutes ago. There was a report again of a tornado on the ground in Franklin, but that was over 10 minutes ago. The storm's moving, of course, but I don't know anything right now. Again, it's all headed towards the Kettering area. That may stay west. I know you're in that particular tornado warning, but again, it's kind of going to stay west. Yeah, I don't see it going to the right or turning more easterly. If anything, it's going to move towards the low pressure system, which is out over Indiana, and it's going to make a left turn a little bit, which is a little bit unusual for what we usually are used to seeing here. Usually we see right turners thanks to the Coriolis effect, but in this case, everything's kind of rotating around a low. I don't want to ignore our folks up here in Palestine and Darke County or anything like that. So if you're watching from that area, which I know isn't a whole lot, the good news is that there's not a whole lot of rotation going on, and that's really good to hear. All right, let's see here. Here's our update on our warning southwest of Dayton. Again, it's radar indicated rotation. This warning's in effect till 9 p.m., so about another 18 minutes. Rotations over Miamisburg moving north at 20 miles an hour. So we've talked about that to quite some extent, so we won't get too wrapped up into it. But yeah, it's right over Miamisburg, and our little tornado confidence thing is up to 70% now for what it kind of thinks in terms of rotation, and that's why, for the most part, is what we're seeing here on our rotation product. Again, not super. Well, I can't say I can't beat no, because it did produce a potential tornado down towards Franklin there, and it looked just like that. So you know what? Yeah, if you're in Miamisburg, especially closer to 75, coming up in the Sycamore Medical Center, I'd take shelter. I'd absolutely take shelter. I'm not sure if there's anything on the ground or not. Chances are probably not. But there's definitely enough there that we could see some rotation. I'm not seeing a ton on our velocity products, and that's good. But the reflectivity product here still has that shape of things spinning and that cell spinning. So sometimes it doesn't show up on the velocity product. Sometimes we're looking at this and we're going on that, and that's the best we have. That's just the way radar works sometimes. Again, so if you're in the Dayton area, I'd be keeping a very close eye on this. Unless you're in the far southwestern side of Dayton, you're not in a tornado warning, at least not yet. But if this trend continues where it's still showing these signs of rotation, I would anticipate a tornado warning for Dayton Metro here sometime in about probably the next 5 to 10 minutes at the most. But if you're really concerned, take shelter now. Don't wait for the tornado warning. You don't need to wait on the tornado warning, on your phone to blow up 100 times, on the tornado sirens. Please don't wait on the tornado sirens. The tornado sirens tell you nothing. You're inside. You're watching me. The tornado warning siren isn't going to tell you a gosh darn thing. You already know what's happening here. Don't worry about the line flashing over there. That's an update on a flood warning, I believe, but we'll get to those a little bit later. Again, a lot of rain falling with these, right? So there's going to be some localized flooding. So again, if whatever reason you're out and about, turn around, don't drown, don't drive through the flooded roadway, but you're also going to get a lot of localized flooding just in and around the area as well, being a bit more populated as well. So ground's kind of dry, the water doesn't soak in very quick, it just runs right off your yard like it would run off your driveway, concrete or asphalt. Because it just can't soak in that fast. It's so dry. So there is going to be that through the evening to deal with. And again, this is some pretty heavy rain moving through. But again, we're going to continue to watch our radar here. Notice that the tornado thing is still there over Miamisburg. I'm expecting an update here on the radar here. Well, it looks like it may have just updated actually. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at, okay, so this is some good news here. So overall, this is somewhat diminishing. This looks to be kind of a broader area of rotation here. So pretty much, oh, here we go. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so that just updated and that is not good. That's not good right there. That is potentially a tornado. Oh man, just almost over Sycamore Medical Center. So looks like South Gebhardt Church Road and Belleville Road, that intersection right there, headed towards 725, and the interchange was 75 and State Route 725. The South Dayton area probably stayed just west of 75 right now, and it's going to pretty much move. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do this. We did get another update, I think, on a tornado warning, but we'll get to that in a moment. I'm going to put a storm track on this little guy right here. All right, let's get him out of the way a little bit. Okay, so we'll zoom in a little bit. It's in Miamisburg right now, but Sycamore Medical Center is in less than a minute. Shawnee Indian Mound, 8:51. West Carrollton, 8:56. Moraine Air Park, 8:58. Miami Shores at 9, and I guess the Waffle House in Miami Shores. I never seen a Waffle House come up on here, but yeah, there's the Waffle House, 741 in South Dixie. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, you're west of I-75 from Miamisburg to West Carrollton, heading towards the Dayton area. I would be in sheltering right now, absolutely right now. I wouldn't wait for anything else. I would be sheltering. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. We got something on the ground here, guys. We might. Do you see this green area right here on the reflectivity? This drop kind of almost. It's red, and then we get this little green area. Yeah, that drop right there is usually not a great sign of things happening. I'm not going to see anything on our correlation product just yet, simply because it takes time. Stuff's got to get in the air first, got to hit something. But that's not a good sign. Right around the Miamisburg High School and the Sycamore Medical Center right now. That's a pretty serious situation at the moment where there could potentially be something on the ground here, and it's right over Sycamore Medical Center right now. I'm going to drop the storm track, guys. It's headed more northeasterly, so it's going to pass over I-75 just north of the 725 interchange here. That's exit 44 on 75. It's pretty much going to pass right north of that. I think it's going to end up crossing 75 or almost paralleling it at this point in time. That's the South Dayton area. Again, if you're up in Dayton, you want to keep a really close eye on this. This whole area, this whole thing right here is rotating pretty good. Doesn't necessarily mean a tornado's on the ground for the commenter on YouTube. We don't know what kind of tornado it is, or if it's a tornado. It's just that this storm is rotating and it's low to the ground. So it could be producing something, but we don't know. We don't talk about what EF scale it is. That's an after the fact thing. A tornado has to happen first. Then we have to see how much damage it did. So we don't talk about how anything like that because we don't know. We have no way of telling just based on the radar. If you're in Arcanum, your tornado warning is over. There's no tornado warning up for the Arcanum area right now. You guys are fine. They did drop the warning in Darke County, so there's no tornado warning in southwestern Darke County anymore. So that's good news. And it looks like they updated the warning here around in Kentucky. Again, that's over Independence moving northeast at 20. It's pretty much leaving it right now. It's pretty much near Edgewood, Taylor Mill, Latonia Lakes, headed up towards 275 in the State Route 9 there. And good news is there's not a whole lot of rotation, but we'll keep an eye on that particular cell because that is going to move into the eastern edge of Cincinnati and kind of those eastern suburbs there along 275 soon. We're going to just stay focused on this particular cell around the Dayton area right now because that's our most active cell, and that's the one that's more concerning. Looks like it's right over 75, again, just north of exit 44 there, State Route 725. Not seeing anything lofted into the air, so that's good news. This could just be strong rotation. This could be a wall cloud rotating. It could be a funnel cloud. It could be a couple of different things there. All right, so where do we issue? Okay, so they're going to let that one expire. Yeah, they're going to let that one expire. Okay. Bear with me just a moment, folks. All right, sorry about that. My son's going to bed. All right. Miamisburg, it did pass Miamisburg. If you're in Miamisburg right now, this is pretty much moving out. So if you are south of 725 in Miamisburg and west of Main Street, you're gonna be okay. If you're around the Sycamore Medical Center, I'd love to hear if you guys have any damage. Of course, you gotta have power first. But right now it's north. It's between like West Carrollton and Springboro Pike, pretty much just to the south of Alex Bell Road. It's kind of headed that way. So it's headed kind of towards the Kettering area, but I think it's probably going to take more of a northerly trek. Look at our streamlined winds here. There we go. So we got another one. I wanted to look at this, and we got that. This is west side of Dayton, folks. New tornado warning, west side of Dayton. We'll probably see one for downtown Dayton too. But right now around Trotwood, you need to be taking shelter here with this one. But this tornado warning is for north central Montgomery County till 9:15 p.m. It is radar indicator rotation over Trotwood, moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. So this will include west side of Dayton, Trotwood, of course, Vandalia, Englewood, Clayton, Union, Phillipsburg, Fort McKinley, the Dayton Airport, Northview, and Drexel, and of course areas along I-70 and I-75. Not too much I-75, just up by the Dayton Airport, but a good chunk of the I-70 there on the west side of Dayton. So let's real quick here, we'll plot it, storm track it. Here we go. Put it at 20. It doesn't want to find anything yet, but I'll tell you what, here's what we're going to do. We're going to zoom in, and it'll probably find something for us. Here we go. So Stringtown, 859, Taylorsburg, 903, Northview, 906, Kinsey, 907, Miami Valley Hospital North, 909, Morgan Place, 909, Little York, 910, and then the Dayton Airport at 921. That might be a little bit too much, but that's what we're looking at. So pretty much anything right in here. And you can even try to make that a little bit wider in your head. I think that's really where we're looking. And let's look at some of our rotation stuff here. Yeah, it's pretty much right there. Okay. There it is. West side of Trotwood is our area of rotation. So pretty much just south of Wolf Creek Pike and, well, whatever that road is there. Snyder Road, North Snyder Road and Wolf Creek Pike is pretty much where that area of rotation is. So that'll impact, in a sense, the kind of west side of Trotwood, then Stringstown, then Taylorsburg. So yeah, again, you're going to want to take shelter. Again, real quick, take shelter in the basement. If you don't have a basement, lowest level of your home, such as an interior room, interior hallway, interior closet, interior bathroom, anything you have that puts as many walls between you and the outside of your home as possible. If you're in a mobile home, if you're further north, you got a little bit of time to get out. Otherwise, hunker down at this point. Again, if you have something real close, you can get out and you've got a little bit of time before it gets there, that's fine. But other than that, I would not be trying to get out of a mobile home at this point with everything here. Do not take shelter under a bridge, Andrew. No. That's a big no. Too many people did that and bridges started collapsing on them. Bridges are terrible spots to take shelter. Terrible. All right, so I got a couple questions about Englewood, actually. And right now, Englewood, you're in the tornado warning. You're going to want to keep an eye on this. So see how these streamlines here, this is one thing I like about these streamlines. See how these streamlines are kind of moving northeast and they start taking this northerly turn here? This is kind of how the storms have been tracking. So this storm down here, where this red line is with the arrow, eventually could take about a 20-degree left turn, and then all of a sudden Englewood is in that. So if you're in this area, I'm keeping a real close eye on this. Maybe the Dayton Airport and parts of Vandalia, you're barely in the warning here, by the way. Maybe it's not so impactful, but it's also very possible the storm could say, hey, you know what, forget that. I'm going to move northeast still. So it's something to watch, but it has, some of this has been kind of following those little streamlines as well. So just kind of something to monitor as we go here. Again, nothing strong. I do want to get back down here. I am anticipating a tornado warning for the Dayton area. Again, if you're in the Dayton area, Oakwood especially, Southdale, what else we got down here? Berkeley Heights, Carmont, the University of Dayton area, anywhere down there. I'd be taking shelter. Patterson area, absolutely. I'd be taking shelter. No tornado warning there yet. The tornado warning that we have on the map is only good for about 3 more minutes. Expires at 9. But yeah, I would absolutely be taking shelter here on this one. I just would. I wouldn't. It looks like it could be trying to cycle back up a little bit, but you know, I wouldn't sit on it because if it is cycling, if it does decide, you know what, I'm going to do something, it's going to do it pretty close to Dayton. So I wouldn't wait on the warning for that one. I just pretty much consider yourselves warned at this point. So if you're kind of anywhere in here at the moment, if you're in that yellow circle, I would just say consider yourself warned. And I would definitely just consider taking shelter at this point, just to be totally safe. I'm not getting any signs of anything actually occurring, and the rotation's still there. It's not as nice as it looked earlier, but we still are getting a pretty good ping here on our rotation product, and that's been pretty consistent. That's just now southwest of the Kettering Medical Center, north of Dwyer. Again, if you're in West Carrollton, Miamisburg, you guys are okay right now. And again, notice those streams. Now everything right here turns north. So if this cell decides it's going to follow those streamlines, it's going to turn north just slightly, and that's going to get Dayton in on it. So I believe on this one, it's just going to say they're going to allow the tornado warning to expire here at 9. It does. And they're saying there's no rotation anymore. So with that said, it does not sound like they're issuing a tornado warning for Dayton. I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised on that. I'll be honest with you. Not the call I would have made. It's not the call I would have made. Up here towards Trotwood. it's not a whole lot. What was there weakened, so it's something to just continue to keep an eye on. But that weakened considerably. So again, I'm more concerned about the storm here between Moraine and Kettering. That particular cell is still got something going on. It's just now starting to move out of that box. I do want to go further south. Okay, so they still have the tornado warning on this. It's expired. Never mind. It'll disappear in a moment. But this cell over Highland Heights, 471 and 275. Good. Not really rotating. Excellent. That's good news. Okay. Our tornado signature little thing here, little spin. It's called Tornado ID. It's sitting at a confidence level of about 63%. And yeah, I mean, so it's more of a broad rotation, but you can kind of see we have this area, kind of almost rear flank downdraft, right, kind of wrapping in, and that could create a brief spin up. It's certainly possible, but we'll just kind of continue to keep an eye on that. This whole storm again rotating. So you know, there's a lot of movement here. Yeah, so that warning dropped. So if you're West Carrollton, Miamisburg, that southwestern Montgomery County portion there, that tornado warning has technically expired. But if you're in Oakwood, Southdale, Dayton, Riverside, I'm going to keep a real close eye on that particular cell. I just don't trust it, guys. Maybe, hopefully I'm wrong, but this did just pick up, and I don't, that's right over Kettering Medical Center, so West Stroop Road and Southern Boulevard there, and right over the Country Club, Marine Country Club, is where that area of rotation is, and it wouldn't take much of a turn for that to go further north and head right towards Dayton there. Again, I just don't trust it. Just one of these things I just don't trust. So we'll keep a close eye on it. Up here towards Trotwood, not a whole lot. I know that's our only tornado warned storm in the state right now, but there's this little area of rotation just north of Stringtown along Union Road and Shiloh Springs, actually up more further north now, just updated. East Westbrook and Union Road, that intersection is an area of rotation. It's not very strong, which is great news. That's Happy Corners, moving towards Kinsey and Englewood. Again, I'll keep a close eye on it for you, but I'm not seeing a ton at the moment. We'll keep a close eye on it. I am just going to continue to kind of try to keep an eye on both these cells here. Miamisburg, you're in the clear. Yes, you guys are good. So if you're in Miamisburg, you got a storm coming in, rain, thunder, lightning, of course, but you don't have any sort of severe weather moving through. Tornado warning in Trenton. I don't know where Trenton's at. Moraine, again, we're looking at this right now. This whole storm is rotating. No tornado warning in effect for Moraine, but it is something we are going to continue to watch. And let's see here. All right, so they updated the tornado warning for the Englewood area here. Again, it's just radar indicator rotation over Englewood now, moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. Yep, okay, I kind of see it. It's what we were watching. It's actually more over Kinsey, so Taywood and 70. But, and actually maybe a little bit further south. Yeah, still down there a little bit. Radar probably update here in just a moment too. Yeah, it's right in here. Let me do this to make it easier for you guys to see. So it's pretty much right. Well, not that one. I'm gonna get my tools right. One point the other here. How about we do draw? Kind of right in here. That's kind of where our area of rotation is. It's going to be right in here. So it's just south side of Englewood. It's moving up kind of northeast, if you will, at the moment. And again, it's fairly weak. I'm not seeing any signs of anything like super concerning, which is really good. The only concerning thing I got right now, guys, is I need to change out my batteries on my microphone or you're not going to hear me in a moment, and that's a bad thing. So let me do that real quick, and then I will be right back with you guys. I'm gonna try to do it real quick. I really am, but should probably get some new batteries. These are old. My apologies here. All right, here we go. I'll be right back with you guys, promise. Okay, here we are, back online, and we're good to go now. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Go back down to our storm here, moving out of Moraine towards Oakwood. New update on the radar there, that's good. We'll get something there on our velocity product in just a moment, I'm sure. Boy, yeah, that is interesting right there. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so basically this whole storm is rotating. So let me show you this here. So that's what I'm seeing. All right, now we got all of this kind of circled. We'll go ahead, we'll talk about it. So basically what we have is we have air coming this way, we have air coming this way. It's all rotating here, it's broad. This is probably why they did not issue the warning, is my guess. Is they're looking at this going, yes, it's rotating, but the whole cell's rotating basically, right? So this whole thing is just rotating. Not super fast either. But the whole storm, if you were to be able to watch it from a distance and it was flat, I know it's kind of flat down there, and you get the right lighting, it's dark out, you'd see this whole thing just kind of in the sky, just slowly rotating. You see the clouds moving in a circular fashion. This whole thing would probably be rotating at this point. So it's kind of what we're looking at here in that area. But that's not to say that a brief spin up or something like that couldn't develop anywhere along that leading edge, like towards Oakwood and that area. And that's what I think is kind of what we're seeing here. But this could just be wind too. It's very possible that that's just wind. All right, we're going to continue to just kind of stick with this for now. I know we have the active tornado warning up here towards Englewood. The good news is I'm not seeing anything. The good news is I'm not really seeing anything. That rotation has weakened. What was there has weakened. That tornado warning's only got about another 7 minutes left. I'm going to probably stay with you guys just a little past that warning. If we don't get anything here for the Dayton area, I'll stay with you guys for a few minutes past that, and then we'll touch on some of these flood advisories and things. We'll go from there. The good news is we should start seeing any sort of severe weather threat diminish quite a bit here. We're a little past sunset now, so that's good. So it's dark, which is great. That's going to help settle some of these storms. We're still going to see the rain. We'll talk a little bit about severe weather for tomorrow too, across the eastern portion of Ohio. So I'll cover some other things with you a little bit, and that'll give us a chance to see if anything happens with this particular storm. But you know what? I mean, even though we got the rotation here happening, it is down to about 42%, so that's good. That's right over Oakwood and a University at Dayton right now, Carmont, that area. Dayton Country Club is in there as well. Again, there's not much in the way of, besides this product here, which I'm going to, at this point, because it's a linear fashion, I'm going to say this is wind. And it's probably not super strong wind, but it could be a nice gust up to 50 miles an hour. Seems to be right along the leading edge of that this area here where it's red. So it seems like that area of rotation is just kind of in a line, kind of like right here. And it might just be something with that at this point. But I did not like what I saw back towards Miamisburg area earlier, where it kind of pinged in one spot. That's more of a sign of strong rotation at that point. No reports of anything back there right now, but if you guys hear anything, let me know in the chat. No, I agree. The rotation south of Dayton, it's not organized. It's not real strong. It's just the whole storm's rotating like we talked about there. Kettering area, there's no tornado warning. You're not going to hear a siren more than likely. Fairborn area, I keep if you're in Fairborn, a lot of folks up towards Fairborn that watch, I would definitely just kind of keep my guard up right now. I just keep my guard up. Yeah, I know sirens off in Vandalia. You're right at the edge of a tornado warning that's getting ready to expire. And right now that area, not the rotation is back towards Englewood. Well, what was rotating, I should say, was back towards Englewood. But the good news right now is there's not a whole lot, maybe a little bit of rotation there, just the east side of Englewood there. But that's about it. It's not seeing a whole lot else. So we'll just continue to monitor that, but right now I'm not seeing a whole lot there. Let's go over to let's see what the date and TDWR is showing here. I got a feeling it's not going to show much. Yeah, it's not showing a whole lot. And then down towards Dayton itself, yeah, that's not looking as great. This is more wind than anything, but okay, cool, all right. And let's go back towards Wilmington here. Here we go. Trying to get caught up on comments at the same time. Again, anything around Dayton, I just continue to monitor it right now, but there's no, the Dayton Metro, Oakwood, down towards Kettering, Riverside, out towards Fairborn. No active warning in effect. The only tornado warning in effect is pretty much Vandalia to Englewood to near Clayton right now. Trotwood's in the clear. I don't know about any touchdowns or anything like that. Not real sure. But no, as time goes on, all of this again is just going to go back to non-severe levels for the most part. And we're going to be looking more at heavy rain and some flooding, which is probably what you see flash on the screen is probably a flood advisory right now. Not sure why sirens went off in Hubert Heights. You guys aren't under a warning. But again, this is why we don't like sirens. If you're around Dayton Airport, technically Dayton Airport is under a tornado warning, but the part of the storm that they're focusing on is well to your west, and it's going to kind of stay that way. Funnel reported in Trotwood. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate all of our viewers on YouTube this evening interacting with us. If you're new to us, thanks for joining us there. Yeah, there's probably some sirens in the Dayton area going off, but again, we don't trust the sirens. Why? There's no warning in effect right now. And I'm not sure how Montgomery County works. If they're one of those where if there's a warning in the county, they all go off, then it's even worse. They do sound all clear, so when a warning cancels, they do sound a siren for all clear in many areas. So that last one could be that, but otherwise, don't trust. This is why we don't like sirens. They don't tell us anything. I'm not aware of anything touching down in Trotwood, but someone earlier did mention the potential funnel cloud. There's no reports or anything like that at the moment. Nothing up towards Troy right now. That cell near Englewood is heading that way, but I'm not anticipating another tornado warning to be issued north of that one right now. Haven't heard about any damage to Miamisburg, but that certainly looked interesting earlier. Trotwood's now in the clear, yes. Vandalia, I think you guys are going to be okay in Vandalia, honestly. All right, well, here's a new tornado warning. It just decided it was going to defy me. So I'm gonna, maybe I should stop talking, huh? Okay, new tornado warning now in effect for north central Montgomery County, south central Miami County till 9:45. Watch an area rotation over Englewood moving north at 20 miles an hour. So that includes parts of Dayton, Vandalia, Englewood, West Milton, Clayton, and Union. Although I'm not so sure about Clayton. Nah, Clayton, you're in the clear, guys. You guys are in the clear in Clayton. Forget that. Pig Eye, Frederick, Nashville, maybe West Milton. That's really where the warning is, not Clayton. Okay. Yeah, so we're looking. I see where we're looking here. Okay, so we want to do storm track. And let's go ahead. We'll peg it right here. We'll go to here. Well, that's too fast. Let me see if I can fix that. I can. I can if and only if I move this out of the way. There we go. That's better. I had to move it a little too fast, guys. Sorry about that. All right, so we have Frederick at 9:25, Nashville at 9:33. And again, Pig Eye kind of in the path, Union kind of in the path. You guys are in the tornado warning. But this is radar indicated rotation. Again, nothing really striking that's like, oh yeah, there's something imminent here. It's certainly possible, but if anything happens, this is probably going to be brief. Just looking at another program here, and yeah, I don't see a whole lot. We got that broad rotation from that storm right over Dayton right now. That's really about the biggest thing. Again, it's broad. The good news is it's not showing any signs of doing anything crazy. Interesting little feature here, though. Let's go over here. This is an interesting little feature right here. So this is our correlation coefficient, or what we kind of use to track like debris being lofted into the air. Here's the update, and we kind of saw right in here, we had a cell and we have this other cell where it was kind of lighter in color. So the way this works is the radar beam is bouncing off objects, right? Like raindrops and anything that's in the air. And it's looking at it going, okay, does this correlate with other things around it? So when we see these uniform colors like this out here, it's saying this is the same thing, rain. But when we start seeing brighter colors, the chance of that being the same as the next object next to it is not very high. So it does a lot of math. And basically it says, this does not correlate with what's around it. So therefore, this has to be something else. When we get a bunch of it and we get this blue area or this yellow area, we call that a CC drop in our terms. And basically what that means is something's not correlating there with what's around it. And typically what it means is it's a good potential for a tornado on the ground and debris is being lofted into the air. Not suggesting that, but certainly a bit of a drop in it. But you know, that could just be, it could be a lot of different things that cause that. So something just to watch. It was in roughly the same area as rotation from a little bit ago, a short time ago. I guess it's getting there. Our rotation, actually, I take that back. That was probably an anomaly. I'm gonna take that one back. Our rotation probably up a little bit north of and east of Englewood right now. They did just issue a severe thunderstorm warning for the Dayton Metro. So let's take a look at that. So it's a severe thunderstorm warning. They did tag it tornado possible. It's over Dayton, moving northeast 25 miles an hour with 60 mile an hour wind gusts possible. Dayton, Kettering, Beaver Creek, Huber Heights, Fairborn, Trotwood, Vandalia, Tip City, Moraine, Oakwood, Wright Pat Air Force Base, Brown, Riverside, Shiloh, Centerville, Fountain, Brant, Overlook Page, Mano, Drexel, Park Lane, all in the path of that storm. Again, They did tag it tornado possible. They did put some language in there to remain alert for a possible tornado. So they're still a little bit concerned on this particular cell. So that's our big severe thunderstorm warning there. If there is anything, yeah, see, everything is broad right now. This could be winds that's headed towards like East Dayton, Air Force Museum, right, Pat? That could be wind. It's not particularly correlating with anything spinning. It's so broad. It's so broad. But this whole cell is just rotating. This whole thing. It's just you got air coming in here. You got some coming back in this way. This whole cell is rotating. So it's very possible you could get something that can spin in just enough and perhaps create something, but kind of like up here over Union right now. That's along 48 between Union and Pig Eye. That's an area where we got a little bit of rotation. Not a ton, but it's there. But it's not a lot. I don't think that's going to produce. But again, I wouldn't take chances if you're in that area around Pig Eye, Frederick, and you're along, looks like that's Ballinger Road. I would definitely consider taking shelter just in case. You got a couple minutes to do it. That's about it. And then if you're further north, like up towards Nashville, I would consider it right now, just to be super safe. If you're at the Dayton Airport and you're in Vandalia right now, you guys are going to be okay. That cell would have to literally turn due east right now, and it can't. It can't do it. Just can't do it. It's not going to go up against this other one, but it's also not going to do that. It's just not the setup for it. But a lot of heavy rain, again, some gusty winds. Could see up to 60-mile-an-hour gusts. That's certainly possible. We're pushing about right now 50 or so on the radar. Northridge to Riverside. That's pushing about 50, so that's going to get into the Air Force Museum area. Yep, Kettering's going to be okay. You guys are going to get that heavy rain, some thunder, not too bad. If you're by the Air Force Museum, you don't need to take cover. There's no tornado warning. But I'd be ready to, just in case. There's no tornado in Vandalia. There's no confirmed tornado on the ground anywhere. So again, that's, don't get too crazy with this stuff, you guys on YouTube. If you're in Columbus, I'd be worried more about rain and some thunder later, but that's it. We'll talk about other areas later, guys, okay? We're going to get into that a little bit later. But right now, just looking at, again, here's Southwest Ohio. We do have this tornado warning in effect for about another 20 minutes for north central Montgomery and south central Miami County. No confirmed reports of a tornado. And we have the severe thunderstorm warning for about 35 minutes or so for northwestern Greene, northeastern Montgomery County, my bad, and southeastern Miami County. That goes till 10 p.m. They did tag it tornado possible. Does not mean there's one occurring, just means that it's possible it could develop one. But again, haven't seen too many signs of that on radar at the moment, which is good. Our cell up here that is tornado warned, again, there's a lot of, not a lot of rotation, just a lot of wind coming into it, really. And that's about it. I don't see too much. If it is, it's going to be almost over Frederick at this point. But we'll just kind of continue to keep an eye on that. Yeah, I don't see too much. And again, down to Dayton area, this whole cell is rotating. So it's kind of what we're seeing here. And this is actually a pretty good picture of it. So this whole cell is just rotating, right? And this is one reason why they tagged it tornado possible. The other reason is it may have possibly produced earlier. So this whole cell, you kind of see everything rotating right in here. Pretty much drawing a circle around Dayton, right? It's pretty much rotating right over Dayton for the most part. Moving off to the north and east, about 20, 25 miles an hour. And again, it's not imminent of producing a tornado right now. Just because the whole cell is rotating doesn't mean that it's going to just drop a tornado in a second or anything like that. That said, did get a little tornado ID there just to the north of Riverside. I believe that's going to be just north of, well, what is that right there? That's 4, State Route 4 over Avondale. Not high probabilities, it's saying 45%. Again, it's probably flagging this stuff right here that's right over Riverside and just to the west of the Air Force Museum. We've been tracking that for a while, not too particularly into it at the moment since it's kind of been there, but that said, that doesn't mean something couldn't try to sneak in here and develop like we just talked about, and it might be showing some signs of that. And we're just kind of looking at, well, we'll stick with this one. I think that's going to be the better one. What we're kind of looking at here is now we got some of this lighter color here. It's not green per se, more of a grayish, but we could see something decide again just to spin up like that, and it wouldn't take much. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. If you're in the Huber Mobile Home Park, I know that popped up on the map there. I'd be looking at maybe just taking shelter as a just in case, because that's headed your way. I just in case. I'm not saying it is doing something. I'd just be doing it just in case. Just don't know on that one. So there's more of a just in case. That's headed pretty much between 4 and 201. It's pretty much going to stay right in that track up to about I-70. For the most part, could take a slight left turn, but we'll just kind of keep an eye on that as the next few scans come in here. Again, I can't really trust that one too much. I'm not sure with that one. Okay. Yeah, let's keep an eye on that. We'll just keep an eye on that one. Our tornado warning further north has expired. It's gone. They canceled it. So that was for Englewood and Frederick up towards Nashville, included parts of Vandalia. That tornado warning has dropped. There are no active tornado warnings in Ohio right now. The good news, but we're going to continue just watching this cell right over Dayton. If you're on YouTube and you posted there's a tornado, there's no tornado right now. Again, don't trust the sirens. A lot of heavy rain in the Fairborn area, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning. Same with the Dayton area. That doesn't necessarily mean that bad things are going to happen. Tornado sirens, depending on where you're at, comment on YouTube. It says they're whole county, not city specific, and that's about a half-true statement at best. So real quick, tornado sirens. Why I hate tornado sirens. Depending on the county you're in, depends on how they're activated, depending on who owns the sirens, dependent upon when they're activated. The city of Dayton could own their own sirens, and they want to sign them for everything, including curfews for kids. Meanwhile, the rest of Montgomery County could say, screw it, we're only going to sound the sirens for the entire county, the sirens that we're in control of, anytime there's a tornado warning for the county, and anytime there's a severe thunderstorm warning for the county. But Dayton's only going to do it for tornado warnings. Now, how is that helpful? I'm hearing a siren here, what's it mean? I'm hearing a siren here, what's it mean? I need to know both. Ah, man, that's a nightmare. Meanwhile, next county over could only sound sirens for tornado warnings. Another county might do severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. Again, they usually do a sound in all clear at some point, so you're going to hear it go off and you're going to think, oh my God, it's coming, but really it's an all clear. Most of them sound an all clear siren, which is usually, well, it depends a little bit. It's usually about a 30-second just standard siren for the most part. But that varies a little bit. Everyone kind of does their own thing. And that's the problem with sirens. Everybody does their own thing. There's no standard in the state of Ohio. The state of Ohio years ago tried to adopt the standard, and it didn't even make it to the state legislature. No one could agree on what the standard should be. So we don't have standards for tornado sirens. Another reason why I hate them, because they don't tell us anything. They say, oh my God, something's coming. Yeah, cool, maybe. It's also very possible the thing tripped on accident. That happens. And guess what happens during severe weather? Why? Lightning strikes something, tripped the siren. A power bump tripped the siren. Went off on accident, and it didn't mean anything. So I could stand here in my soapbox all night and talk about sirens. I'm going to get really tired if I do. It's getting kind of late. But I won't, I promise. But I don't like sirens because you don't know really why it's going off. It's basically telling you something's happening, go get more information. It was really meant for if you're outside, something's happening, get inside, go get more information, right? Well, guess what? It's now 2026. We have cell phones, we have computers, we have TVs, we have a radio, we have all these different ways to get information. You got me on social media, right? You're here watching me. All these different ways to get information. And the siren's probably the last thing you're going to get. Now, maybe you're away from something, you hear it, great. What are you going to do? You're going to go look, check it out, what's going on, right? You can't use that as your primary means of stuff. You're not going to hear it inside in the middle of the night if you're sleeping unless the siren's 2 doors down from your house, right? And it wakes you up. Or you're in a little small town and there's a siren right in the right spot and it wakes you up. But guess what? The power goes out, the siren isn't going to work. So if something was coming and knocks out the power for the town before it can get there, the siren is useless at that point. So don't trust the sirens. They're there, but if you hear them and you go, oh my God, what's going on? Just go get more information, because there are no standards in how those things are sounded. It's just there's no standard at all. Again, when they sound for severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's not a good thing because it's not helping you at all. All right, Terry, no, I will tell people don't trust the siren. I will say, go get more information. Don't use that as your means of going, oh my God, there's a tornado. Because it could be the curfew going into effect. I used to live next to a town growing up. They sounded those sirens at a certain time during the summer, and that was your chance to go home. Otherwise, you were going to get a ride home from the local police. It is a warning system, but it is not a great warning system. It is a very old way of warning people. Again, there we go. If I hear sirens, comment on YouTube. If I hear sirens, I'm in the basement. Didn't even bother to get information. Didn't even bother. Wait to the basement. All right, guys. So here's what's going on. There's nothing spinning. This is good. The whole storm's kind of spinning, but overall, it has lost even that luster. Great stuff. Good news is we're looking at pretty much just a strong thunderstorm. Winds up to 60 miles an hour. A lot of it are below that. The other good news is I don't see a whole lot of localized rotation. Very good stuff. It's good. Now, that said, I am just checking stuff a little bit here and there. I would watch down here. New Chicago to Moraine. Here's why. So we kind of have, let me move this just a touch here, guys. My bad. Our ticker's in the way. So you guys see the ticker. I don't see the ticker. I have another screen I have to look at in order to see what you're seeing. So sometimes I got to look behind me for a second. This area right here where we have this drop in reflectivity and all this red around it. If we kind of look at this here, we kind of have this hook thing, right? In a sense. It's very weak. It's barely even showing any rotation. But again, sometimes we just look at the reflectivity and that tells us more than the velocity product does. Not saying that anything's going on here. It's just one of those things. And it could just be, this is how the storm looks. It could have this little bit of a supercellular hook look, but it does nothing, doesn't even spin. That happens. That absolutely happens. Again, we're in an environment where it's not super conducive for a ton of tornadic activity. More isolated, like we've seen tonight. But again, could see something like this. We're going to continue to watch that just for a few minutes. If it doesn't do anything, we'll start talking about tomorrow. So I do want to talk about that. So yeah, I don't see any sort of rotation, nothing, not seeing it. A lot of just linear wind here, and that's great that we're getting that, because it means we don't have to worry about tornadoes. But again, it's just something we'll watch. The severe thunderstorm warning goes in for about another 25 minutes. So again, expires at 10 o'clock. Here, this is wanting to peg something again. Very low probability, and that's right over 202 in Chambersburg there at Wayne High School. Let's dig into that. Yeah, it's real weak. If it's even rotating. Again, this whole cell is just slowly kind of rotating as it moves off to the north and east. So sometimes we'll get that pegged. Those aren't anything official. These little tornado ID things are not official. Actually, it's still being tested on this particular system. So it's not something that you can fully trust at the moment. But it's done pretty good, and it actually did pretty good tonight too. There are active tornado warnings and the siren is advanced warning. Actually, Terry, no, you're wrong. There are no active tornado warnings in Ohio, and the siren is a type of warning. But depending on where you're at and what county you're in and who owns the siren that's going off and what their policy is for using the siren, you have no idea unless you know the policy. Unless you know the policy, you have no idea why that siren went off. Could have been a power bump. Could have been a glitch in the system. You never know. Guys, Xenia's not getting anything. What's Xenia cook stuff? You're getting some rain. Maybe some thunder. Okay, guys. Not everywhere does an all clear siren, but most do, unless that has changed recently. The all clear siren usually just maybe about a 30-second standard siren. Some may do a warble where it goes up and down. So like if you have a volunteer fire department that does the warble up and down for like a minute, whereas they might do an all clear for like 30 seconds or something like that. But again, sirens are necessary. What are you on? Apparently I'm on crack, Linda, but okay. I'm not saying to get rid of them. I'm saying you can't use that as your only thing to go, oh my God, the siren's going off, go to the basement. Okay, cool. But the thing is why did you go to the basement? Because the siren went off. Not because there was severe weather. You went to the basement because the siren went off. You didn't bother to go get more information. Get more information before you get crazy with the sirens, okay? I mean, that's just the big thing here. It's just not something that is, you can't just go with that only. Okay, guys, we've talked about the weather. I mean, I can only talk so much about a severe thunderstorm warning, unfortunately. But hey, you know what? If you don't like it, you're welcome to just leave the chat too. That's cool. Some of you people on YouTube are crazy. I'm sorry. You guys are a little nuts. All right, so we still got our severe thunderstorm warning for about another 20 minutes for northwestern Greene, northeastern Montgomery, and southeastern Miami County. Haven't really had any update there. Let's take a look real quick at what we're looking at velocity-wise. Not much. Over Oakwood, I know right here this might look like green over Oakwood. That's actually the ground. So it's not painting anything right there. That'd be because there's no real precipitation there to paint. But just on the south side of Dayton here, I mean, again, there's no real rotation with this little hook looking thing here that we were talking about a few minutes ago. It's nothing's really coming together with it. We'll continue to keep an eye on it. And then up here where we have our little spinny icon there, right at right over Huber Heights actually. The 70 and 202 there. There's really not a whole lot going on here. Again, it's broad. It's real broad right here. This I think is what's causing this, is this little weak area right in here. It's not much. It's not much at all. We'll continue to watch it. I know this is giving us a different picture. I think this again it's been painting this for a while. This line here on this, I think it's more wind than anything else. That's right in the middle of that cell, and it's just not a normal place you'd find a tornado or anything like that. But not to say there could be some rotation there. That may actually be the central point of where this whole cell is rotating in general. So yeah, it's not something that I would particularly get too interested in. Looking at the Dayton Doppler, well, that is actually a little bit, The only problem with this is something's blocking the beam there right along 202. Well, I wasn't expecting to find that on the Dayton Doppler. That's interesting. So on the Dayton Doppler here, it does have just a little bit of rotation there. It's not a whole lot. These are pretty light colors, but it's gonna be down here, guys. My bad. Right in here, right over Huber Heights, Sulphur Grove, headed up towards up 201 basically, towards the Mire up there. What else is up over there? That's not the. No, I think. Yeah, that's not the Buc-ee's, right? That's the next one down. Or is it? I don't remember. It's over here somewhere. I know that. Well, we'll keep an eye on it, but this latest radar scan does not have this. It's even weaker. It does not give me a whole lot of confidence on that one. So we'll watch it, but I'm not. It's what is there rotating wise? It's weak. Even this from the Wilmington Doppler just weakened a bunch too. So yeah, I'm not too concerned with that. I'm going to stick with you guys though for a little longer. I do want to talk about tomorrow, and we'll show some stuff there in just a moment. But across the rest of Southern Ohio here, again, it's just some general thunderstorms for the most part. They're strong at times. Some heavy rain, especially around the Xenia area, Bellbrook, Spring Valley, moving out of Waynesville along 42. That's heavy rain, guys. This isn't going to be severe weather. Some gusty winds in there, yes. Could see some gusts of 50 miles an hour. But we're not seeing, yeah, that's definitely gusty winds. Okay, for sure. We're not going to see severe weather. There is a special weather statement in effect for much of Warren, northwestern Clinton, and Greene County through 10:30. Wind gusts up to 45. Again, that's much of the area. So if you're in the Xenia area, you're not going to die. There's no tornado coming. Guys, not going to have anything like that. Speaking of which, that's from earlier. Never mind. That's not the one I went from earlier. Okay, moving on. So yeah, that's what we're looking at across the rest of the state. Got the rest of the composite. Let's turn that off. Go to the composite radar. We have rain to the north, across the line, up towards Toledo. And then this is all moving northeast. So eventually this is going to get up into northern Ohio, and it's going to move into parts of eastern Ohio as well. But it's not a big blob of rain, which is good. We're going to see additional rain tomorrow. We'll get to that in a moment. So we just went over Dayton and everything there. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot Wawa's down there. Thank you very much. I forgot about that. I'm in Riverside. My house just got destroyed. Okie dokie. You're gone. Buc-ee's is on 235. Thank you, Kristen. I knew it was down there somewhere. I have not been to it. I'm hoping to go this fall. I'll be down in that area this fall. So I might stop. I'm at Buc-ee's now. Go to the basement in Buc-ee's. Good luck finding it. Okay, I don't know why any sirens are going off. If you're hearing sirens going off, there are no reason for sirens to go off. If you're in Miami County, sirens, I don't know why sirens are going off in Miami County. That's an odd one. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. No, it doesn't. The only reason they'd be going off would be for this severe thunderstorm warning across the southwestern portion. But again, we just talked about that, right? If you're warning people up towards Troy and Piqua and Covington, and you got sirens up there and you're blaring sirens for a severe thunderstorm warning that's affecting the southeastern portion of your county, why? Why do that? Why are you doing that? It doesn't make any sense. Just does not make any sense. I do want to share this storm report though out of Preble County near Eaton. 4 homes significantly damaged along with tree damage. It's really interesting. I don't think we had a tornado warning back there earlier. I know there was one before. Well, we did kind of have one back there. I take that back. Yeah, we did have one back here. Yeah, okay, so that was from a storm earlier. We did track that. It may have actually briefly developed something. Okay, cool. Not cool, but you know what I mean. Just we did track that. Never mind. It's been a while. Been on for, oh man, I've been on for a couple hours. Jeez. Miami County sirens are for each area, not the whole county. Yes. Southeast Miami County is easily 30 minutes away from Northwestern. Yes. The problem is do you want to pay for it? Sirens are very, very expensive to install and maintain. Very expensive. Trying to warn a whole county, extremely expensive. And you would definitely maintain that. Yeah, Channel 7 probably went back to regular programming because there's no tornado warning. They don't have to cover the severe thunderstorm warning or anything like that. They're only obligated to cover the tornado warning by the FCC. But for the Dayton area, since I got a lot of people on to Dayton and they're worried, I decided I'd just kind of stick around for a little bit on this and watch the radar and just provide whatever information I could. But the good news is that we don't have a whole lot of rotation or anything like that. It's more transitioning more to just kind of a straight line wind thing, but even that is diminishing. So let's do this real quick. Let's look at tomorrow. We'll leave the warnings up, that way if anything does pop up, I get the notification. So for tomorrow, here's what we're looking at. Actually, they expanded this a little bit, which is good. A marginal risk for severe weather across much of central and eastern Ohio. That's northeastern Ohio, southeastern Ohio. and even in the parts of west central Ohio as well, getting in on that. But generally speaking, what we're looking at here is going to be more or less damaging winds is what we're looking at. It will only probably be in spots where we get some, let's call it sunshine, I guess. Breaks in the clouds is what I was trying to say, but we'll call it sunshine. But where we get some heating to occur, that's where we'll have that damaging wind threat. So this is why this is broad, because it really, really will depend. Let's play around some model data here. Sure, let's go with that. Let's see how this gets us here. This is going to get us through the overnight. And then you can see everything kind of clears out early morning. And then we're going to see stuff starting to bubble up there in the afternoon. And that only gets us to about 1 o'clock. So we got some storms here up towards Toledo, and a couple starting to fire across south central Ohio on this model. Let's see. Oh, good. Let's try this one because this will be a full run. A little bit more aggressive in the overnight with some of the rain, but here we are 7, 8, 9, 10. We got storms up towards Toledo. And here we are. I do want to kind of go back here. This is noon tomorrow. We got storms across southeastern Ohio and up towards Toledo. And we're going to start seeing things kind of develop a little bit more there by 2 p.m. And then 3 p.m., nice set of storms across eastern Ohio. Youngstown to Akron and Canton, down towards St. Clairsville, and even down towards Marietta. And then as we kind of continue to push east through the afternoon, that's going to be 6 p.m. stuff more along I-79 into western PA, but still some showers and storms across Ohio. But the good news is they'll diminish. Not so sure on that particular development there around midnight tomorrow night. But you know what? Anything's possible with this low moving through. Things may bubble up. So this low moving through is kind of slowly moving through. It might stall out briefly, and stuff will kind of bubble up around that. We're going to be in the warm and humid side of it, so things will bubble up even without the heating in place. And then as we go through the overnight and into Monday, we do clear out. Looks like a few showers possible, maybe a rumble of thunder across the Ohio River Valley there by Monday afternoon. But otherwise, we do clear out pretty nice on that, according to this particular model. But damaging winds primarily for eastern portions and central portions of Ohio tomorrow afternoon with any storm. Not a big threat. It's a pretty low threat overall, which is good to hear. Let's get the composite off for now. So that's a good sign. I'm going to wait on this to kind of repaint on us here. I don't know why it did that. So again, for tomorrow, it's not not a big threat, but it is certainly not a non-existent threat for some severe weather. Could see some storms that get severe, but again, we're looking at damaging winds being the primary threat, not anything like we saw here. Wow, you guys on YouTube need a reality check. Holy crap. Let's see, Cairo, with all the technology, you think they can invent a better way to update tornado sirens? They did. It's called wireless emergency alerts on your phone. That is really the best way you got as far as the affordability of sirens. It's a lot of equipment. It sits out in the weather all the time. You need a bunch of them that they're not cheap. They never were cheap. They're just not cheap. But yeah, I mean, it's just not one of those things. So, wow, okay. All right, so just looking at our severe thunderstorm warning here around the Dayton area, they're going to allow that to expire right at 10 p.m. That storm has considerably weakened quite a bit. I mean, it looks a little ferocious here on the radar, but a lot of the wind is kind of pushing it out. Could see some gusty winds up around 201 and 70 there, kind of by that mire. Someone said I think Wawa's over here. It's not coming up, but it might be too new to come up. I know there's a Casey's down here somewhere too. I heard there was a Casey's. You guys are getting all the big ones, man. Yeah, so some damage, some gusty winds right there. I'd agree. That's probably gusty winds kind of gusting out from the storm. So that's that straight line winds. The other thing I want to talk about is some of the flooding. We do have flood advisories in effect across a good portion of southwestern Ohio that runs until about 12:15 in the morning. And then further west, we have this flash flood warning that's getting ready to expire here at 10:30. So again, you know, if you're going to be out tonight after these storms move out, just be cautious for any of the standing water on roadways or in the parking lots, things like that. Don't drive through it. You don't know how deep it is, and you don't really know the condition of the pavement underneath. Not saying that we had so much rain that it could wash something out, but to be honest with you, if there was already damage underneath, this little bit of rain might be just enough to damage it even further and make it not safe. So don't drive through it, especially being nighttime. You don't know how deep it is. You have no way of telling how deep it is going to be. So we're at the mire and want to head to Columbus. Any advice on trying to do that? You can head to Columbus if you want. It's just going to be rain for the most part. So the further east you get up towards 675 east side of Columbus there, you'll eventually get out of that, but you're going to see rain continue to move through the east. I'll be right back in just a second. So yeah, so again, here's 675 on the east side. If you're not familiar, you're probably sitting right in the middle of this cell right here. If you're gonna head east, you'll be okay. This cell's moving generally northeast, so eventually you'll get out of it, but you're gonna hit rain pretty much all the way to Columbus. This is all moving that way. But you know, if you wanna wait for the rain to move through, that's fine, but you'll probably hit it a little bit and then get out of it again, is my guess. So, don't think it's going to be too crazy, but I would I would just definitely take my time for sure. If you guys want to go to bed, you can go to bed. Absolutely. I know I'm going to be going to bed here soon too. It's been a pretty long day. But just real quick, I'll throw up the composite radar here too. We'll kind of take a big look across the rest of the state. We'll get Indiana in here a little bit just because I want to get our low pressure. So the low pressure, it might be hard to see. It's painted right here. It's probably further east now. These only update every 3 hours or so. They're not real time. So this was probably from about 2.5 hours ago, if I had to guess, maybe even a little bit more than that. But this is all going to continue to pushing north and east. A lot of rain, so not expecting overnight severe weather. That's the good news. So severely head across southwestern Ohio. It's pretty much going to be done at this point, and that's going to be about it for the night in terms of severe weather. Again, the flooding is certainly a possibility. It'll be pretty localized in a sense, but as this continues to push north and east, it's generally going to be rain and general thunderstorms. Some heavy rain in there is possible. Could see some local flooding in spots, but this is going to clear out by the morning for the most part. As we looked on the models there, many places could be dry, but we could see some spotty showers or even some showers across portions of southeastern Ohio, and then we'll see stuff develop across northwestern Ohio and eastern Ohio by late morning and early afternoon. And we could see just about a shower just about anywhere tomorrow. With this moist and humid atmosphere in place, with this low moving through, it's possible just about anywhere. So if you are heading out, just be prepared for that. Maybe bring the umbrella, anything like that. If you have outdoor plans, definitely want to keep a close eye on the weather. You can download our Ohio News and Weather app, get the latest radar on there. And of course, if anything were to get issued, you'll get weather alerts on there as well. But that's going to pretty much do it for the evening here. Definitely thank you for joining us, especially those of you on YouTube joining our stream. Very active. I have not seen our YouTube chat that active, although some of you guys crossed the line. I had to remove you because it was not right. So if you're going to be on our chat, be courteous, be nice. Don't be childish, guys, okay? And again, download that free app, get the latest weather forecast and much more from us anytime, day or night. I'm forecaster Mark Spencer. You guys have a great evening.